On this episode of Let's Talk Cincy, it's time to play ball again.
Yeah, we're excited about this year. Every spring, we're eternal optimists.
Baseball is back, and of course, nothing compares to opening day in the Queen City. Plus, a sentimental season. It's the 50th anniversary of the Big Red Machine, and remembering Reds legend, Pete Rose. From WLWT, this is the Emmy Award-winning show, Let's Talk Cincy, presented by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put our financial strength behind you. Here now is Let's Talk Cincy anchor, Curtis Fuller.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Cincy. There are many sports, but I think there is something extra special about the game of baseball. As one writer put it, baseball is our national pastime, our national symbol, our national treasure. And when the baseball season officially starts here in Cincinnati, you know, the home of the first professional baseball team, nothing is like opening day in Reds country. Today, let's talk with the executive director of the Reds Hall of Fame about what we can expect this upcoming season as we celebrate the past and the present.
We're excited about this year. Every spring, we're eternal optimists. Especially here at the Hall of Fame, because everywhere I look around, I see home runs and championships, and I always assume that, hey, this year could be the year. And I think that's why we're so excited about 2025 and what it may bring to us as fans. And we're all fans. We work here, but at the same time, we want to see this team do well because we know how important it is to fans and to the city and to the region that the Reds do have a great year.
This is the 50th anniversary of what we know as the Big Red Machine, which means the celebration will go on all year and some great events taking place. Walk me through, we'll come back to opening day, but walk me through some of the events planned for 2025.
Yeah, you think about the best teams in Reds history, you immediately jump to 75 and 76, back-to-back world championships. And that was really the culmination of the Big Red Machine. A lot of people believe the Big Red Machine started in the 60s and development, and then the trades that took place and Bob Howsam really being the architect of bringing that team together. Well, it finally all came together in 75 and 76. And if it weren't for a spectacular Game 7 against Boston in 75 and a couple of big hits and a Tony Perez home run, maybe the Big Red Machine isn't as famous as they are now. But it's a real special time when you can celebrate a 50th anniversary, and that team means so much to so many fans, and to be able to celebrate it in an exhibit here in the museum probably last 2 years, because we'll be celebrating the 50th of 75 and 76. So this exhibit will be totally transformed. It's going to be a beautiful place, beautiful tribute. And then throughout the year, we'll have players in and out. We'll have a reunion weekend at the end of June with many of the players from most teams coming into town. And I think it's just special to see them back together again. And for them to see the fans and the fans to see them, it's a highlight of the year for us.
Catcher Johnny Bench not only adds an extra dimension of the game of baseball, but lots of excitement too.
I knew that I had to bounce back for us to win. I knew it for myself. For me to survive, I had to do it. 71 was hell is the only way you can describe it, and I didn't want anything like that to ever happen again.
I will ask you the question that you said you asked Johnny Bench. What made that team, that unit, as special as it was?
Well, I think what made it special for them, I know, is that they really cared about each other. They put away egos, they had different talents, they had specific roles, and it was beyond the grade 8. One thing that we've learned as we prepare for this year and this exhibit is that it was about the entire team. So we often think about the starting lineup and how that really brought that team to kind of the upper echelon of baseball. And it's true, that's when they started winning more games. George Foster goes to left field, Pete Rose moves to third base, and next thing you know, they got power, speed, they've got energy, they've got everything they need. But internally, it was they cared about each other, and that led to winning. So very diverse team, egos, talents, backgrounds, came together for that one common goal of winning. Outside of that and away from the field, these guys hung out together. You'd find them together at different restaurants, family gatherings, other events. It's not like baseball might be today, there have been years where, in teams that have been very good that haven't hung out together. And that is what Johnny explained to us, that team was different. And different can sometimes turn into championships. Well, Johnny and Pete were a little bit different than the rest of the team. They were outgoing, they had that personality, they were the spokespeople for the team. They didn't shy away from that. They liked it. They saw that that was important for their personal brand and for the brand of the team. And that was kind of their role. But then you had Tony Perez, who was the quiet leader on the team and who demanded so much out of all the players and could get it from them without saying a whole lot. So he had this special role. And Joe Morgan, Joe was just so talented and could do anything: power, speed, defense, MVP. This guy did it all. And then Dave Concepcion, Foster, Griffey, Geronimo. It's just a stellar group that you'll never see together again like that. I don't think anyone can put together that good a team.
The Big Red Machine is made up of many players, and all put together, they add up to one of the most exciting teams in baseball history. Among other accomplishments, the team broke a club record for victories on the road with 53 and also stole 140 bases, thus became the best in the West.
Well, if you ask the question, what is the greatest team in baseball history? The 1975 and 1976 Cincinnati Reds must be part of that discussion. Back-to-back World Series champs with iconic names like Bench, Rose, Morgan, Foster, Perez, Griffey, and of course, the list goes on and on. Hard to believe that it's been a half century since fans witnessed the greatness of the Big Red Machine.
I remember a couple of years ago, this is when Joe was still with us and Pete was still with us. They all came out on the field, and I remember looking at this team and these players, and I was in awe. We won't have Joe this year, we won't have Pete this year, but you're going to do some things to remember Pete in May.
Yeah, so in the last couple of years, we've lost players from the 75, 76 team, and Don Gullett, Merv Redmond, Pete, obviously, last September. So there's been some changes, you could say, in the Guard, and we'll honor all of them when it comes to reunion weekend and recognize their accomplishments and contributions, kind of like we do in this museum every day. It's really about celebrating them and keeping that legacy alive. Pete in particular, we had that wonderful celebration of life that took place in November where over 6,500 people came out and really paid tribute to someone that really made them Reds fans, that they know he gave his heart and soul to this club. And on May 14th, it's going to be an exciting time. It's a day to celebrate Pete once again. So everything at the ballpark, it's actually 30 days after his birthday on April 14th. It's going to be a special day here and encouraging everybody to come down. A giveaway of a Reds jersey with Rose on the back. Couldn't be more special.
Do you find that young kids who weren't even born in 75, 76, do they have a true appreciation for the greatness of this team? Has that legacy been passed down from parents talking about when they were kids watching this team?
Wow, that's a great question. The answer is probably no, in a sense, unless, and you nailed it, if your parents were involved or became Reds fans, then yes. If you have the basement that has all the archives and the fun stuff in there, and they're like, who's his bobblehead of? Well, that's Johnny Bench, that's Pete Rose. Then maybe so, and the stories and the lore. And then you come through the museum, you see statues around the ballpark. You're like, who is that statue? I don't think it's there and will ever be fully appreciated. As time goes by, it's just a challenge. There are new heroes. There are new people. Now, no team's been as accomplished as that 75 team, but I don't think the appreciation is there. But it's kind of our job. Preserve, promote rich history and traditions, and celebrate the greatness that we once all had. And time goes by, and players move on. And hopefully, down the road, everyone will have their hero. And maybe that's to come this year with the Reds.
Yeah, because the team is looking good.
Yeah.
this spring, and so we wish the best. Tell us about the hall and how things are going. I was hearing that the student groups are coming in more frequently, and that's good.
Yeah, you know, the Hall of Fame prides itself in just being active year-round, and winter can be a little bit slow. Baseball's not on the minds of everybody, but as spring approaches and spring training kicks in, we had the Caravan in January. We ran Reds Fantasy Camp out in Goodyear, Arizona, a big fundraiser for the museum. And then we get into baseball season, and the Hall of Fame is putting together its bobblehead series, its collectible gifts, getting ready to celebrate that Big Red Machine. The Grade 8 will have a Grade 8 statue series. Fans can choose that ticket package when they come to the museum and get one of their favorite heroes from that starting lineup. We're active and busy. The school groups, 15 to 17,000 kids will come through between now and the end of May. It's a popular tour destination for a school, as you can imagine. One of the fun stories we always tell is that when a school group comes, there's lots of chaperones and teachers because they all want to come down to the museum. And when we were sitting once in this exhibit, actually right here, it was a Big Red Machine exhibit, and we had a bunch of kids sitting on the floor learning about Johnny Bench. And guess who walked in that day? Johnny Bench walks in. Of course, the kids didn't know quite who this was, and Johnny interacted with them, but every one of the parents had their cameras out recording Johnny Bench talking to their kids, trying to say, yeah, that's Johnny right there, that's Johnny. So fun times happen. You never know what's going to happen at the museum, who you're going to run into, players stopping in all the time, and this year's going to be even more special because throughout the year, there'll be signature series programming with alumni from the 75 and 76 team, but also any team from that time until the present day. So something always happening.
So opening day is always a big deal in Cincinnati, and it's will be again this year. The hall is open that day, and talk a little bit about what opening day and right around the first couple of days of the season, because baseball is really on everyone's mind those first few days.
Yeah, the Big Red Machine exhibit will open at the Hall of Fame on opening day. Our Red Stockings, the 1869 Hall of Fame Red Stockings team, the vintage players that dress up in the 1869 uniforms, will be in the parade. And we have a float. The world's largest bat is in the parade. It's just a celebration. It's a fun day. It's kind of a chance, I think, for everyone to let loose a little bit. It's that day where, you know, it's not a national holiday necessarily. It certainly feels like one. Kids are still in school, but with the parade, the block party that's out here on the street that benefits the Reds Community Fund, and just the excitement, the energy that's around here, and everybody knows the weather will be perfect, as it always is on opening. You never know, it could be 70, it could be snowing, we don't know, it's too far out right now for us to tell, but it's certainly going to be that special day. It's a party. It's not necessarily your typical crowd that goes to all the games, but everyone that's there will probably come to a few games throughout the year. So it's like, get your taste of Reds baseball and come back and visit as many times as you can.
What's the crowd like inside the hall on that day? Is because again, so much stuff is going on outside, but not everyone goes to the game. They do the parade, they grab some lunch someplace. Do you see a good turnout on opening day or the days leading up to it and after?
We do. I think leading up to it, you start to see the buzz around baseball. Everybody's just so excited. They want to do something related. And there's really, leading up to that week of, the Reds will play up in Dayton on Tuesday before the opening day on Thursday. That's going to be neat for Dayton, fun for the Reds, fans a chance to see the team before they're here at the ballpark. The museum will start to pick up kind of that excitement. And then on opening day, it's not quite as crowded as you think it would be because we want people to take in the history. So we're not really saying you have to come in here now, but the block party is special. Opening day parade is special. You've got to do those things. You'll have time to come visit us afterwards, and we'll be busy up until the game and maybe until the game starts, that 2-3 hour window. It'll be a fun time. I always like to watch how people dress when they come in. What jersey do they decide to wear today? You know, is it Rose, Bench, Griffey, Ellie De La Cruz? I mean, who doesn't have an Ellie De La Cruz jersey now? it'll be a good time that day. And the one thing for sure is we don't know what the weather's going to be like outside, but inside it'll be warm and 70 degrees.
And people should know this year, because they've gotten used to inductions into the hall, that won't happen this year because so much energy is going into the celebration of the 75.
Yeah. The cadence of inductions usually has been every 2 years. And when we had COVID 2020, we got off that cycle by a year. And then now we're going to skip one more year to kind of get back on the same cycle we're on. But in September, we'll be voting to see who goes in the Hall of Fame in 2026. So this year, our whole emphasis is on giving the tribute, the last hurrah, you might say, to the Big Red Machine, because this is the 50th. And anything else that would kind of go alongside that would be totally overshadowed. One of the ways that you can support the museum is by visiting, by having a special event here. Maybe join as a member, and that's when you get the great benefits of visiting multiple times through the year. And if you're a member of the Hall of Fame, one nice benefit is that you get into the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum for no charge. So a member here gets you in there, and if you decide you want to go up to see Dave Parker, the Cobra, inducted into Cooperstown, then your membership card will get you in when you go up there in July. So support the museum. Tom Browning Scholarship Fund is always in need of some support. We'll honor the best high school and softball pitchers this summer, and we'll give them $5,000 scholarships. And this is an award that's given out to kids who kind of exemplify Tom Browning in their pitching ability, but also we're grading a little bit on scholarship and citizenship and community service. So we hope that a lot of pitchers will apply for that scholarship this year.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is Browning the only perfect, is he the only perfect game in
Reds history? Yeah, Tom Browning, Mr. Perfect, he got that name. However, Ron Robinson came one pitch, maybe a couple pitches away from a perfect game himself. So it shows you how close stardom, legendary status is to everybody, but how quickly it's taken away.
You know, just an average game, and you get a chance to see a perfect game, the only perfect game in Reds history.
Well, therein lies the unknown about baseball and the beauty of baseball, that you never know what's going to happen. People will see something that's never happened before in the game. You know, you can witness that at any ballpark at any time. Just when you think you've seen it all, something else happens. That's why if I ever decide to leave early, you've got to be sure that nothing special is going on in the game. There's been a couple times I've been driving home in the fourth inning. You know, like I get home and, you know, you listen to the radio and you realize, oh, he's got a no-hitter through 4 innings. And you're like, wait a minute, turn around, head right back to the ballpark. Because if there's a no-hitter or a perfect game, we want to be the first ones to get our hands in there to try to bring things to the museum. So, and that's an ongoing challenge with artifacts. You know, it's a great thing that players and fans and museums relish in the item that the player might have worn or used during a special moment, because that's the attachment, right? Every artifact tells a story. You look around this museum, even in this exhibit, every one of these items has a story behind it. And being able to tell that story and why we have it is pretty cool. I mean, what did that person do? This, like right here, Johnny Bench's bat. That bat is the bat he used when he hit his 389th home run. Final home run in Reds history. I mean, we're sitting right beside it. Things like that, you might have been at the game. You might remember that moment. And now you come and see that in the museum and you just connect in a special way that makes you feel good. And that's what we're about, rekindling memories, connecting the generations and the stories, and hoping you can share that with others and others share that with you.
And finally today, for baseball fans, it's all about the memories. Watching your very first game in person or listening to a late night game on the radio. Yes, the memories are unforgettable.
I mean, baseball has been one of the constants, one of the only constants in our history. You think about that, and even when there's a war, there's baseball. I mean, that was important to keep things that are American going when times are tough, and people have enjoyed it. And how the popularity of the game changes. I mean, think of what Babe Ruth did to the game with the home run. I mean, that's when people came out and got excited about it. And then there have been times where the game's too long or it's too boring. And right, there's some changes that are made to try to help that. And it seems to be working to some degree. And I think that's, you don't usually have to change things that are so good and pure to start with. Baseball's got those things. But the change every once in a while isn't too bad. So I think you're starting to see that, and seeing the flamboyance and some of the energy in some of these younger players. You get now multi-talented players. I mean, like a Shohei Ohtani that can pitch and hit, and you don't see that very often. There's a few, but they're very often. And then a guy like Elly De La Cruz that can do everything. Everything. He has all the talent in the world, and seeing how teams are putting together winning team. Remember we talked about Bob Howson putting together the Big Red Machine. We were moving to Riverfront, AstroTurf Stadium, needed speed, needed people that could play. He put people where they could succeed. Now with analytics and baseball and analyzing the players, they're doing it differently. They're putting together a team, but they have a different mindset of what that team should look like. And we're going to find out who's the best at that, because everybody has all the information. It's about how we put these people in, and then the intangibles. Do the players love each other? Are they committed to excellence? Are they going to continue to work out? So the numbers won't give them everything, but if now your manager and your staff can kind of get the best out of them, that's probably what makes a difference in the long run. I mean, yes, her talent's huge, but they still need effort.
And final question, I know I've probably asked you this before, but your favorite memory from this Big Red Machine, your favorite memory as a fan back then? Yeah, there were so many, but do you have one?
My favorite memory of that team is watching an all-star game and seeing all of these Reds uniforms. I'm glad they're bringing that back into baseball at the all-star game. You'll wear your home uniform. But to see them introduce Sparky and just Bench, Rose, Concepcion, Foster, Geronimo, Griffey. I mean, you always had a huge presence in an all-star game, and that gave you pride. I think when you saw Cincinnati in the all-star game, that was big. So I always enjoyed it.
Well, be sure to watch WLWT's live opening day parade coverage beginning at noon on March 27th. That does it for the program today. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time for another edition of Let's Talk Cincy. Until then, have a good day and a better day tomorrow.